The following is a presentation of NoVA Hackers, brought to you by Compute Cycle.
Women bring a different viewpoint. If you add women to teams, this is someone else's research, teams with women are smarter, okay? Women tend to be, and I'm going to work on research for this, more longer-term thinkers. You know, we experience the story as it goes. My understanding is that men experience the story retroactively. They go forward, they have the achievement, and then they experience what happened before. I'm still working on that. This is what I was told. We think differently, we experience differently, and having a balance of those viewpoints brings value to any team and any organization and any community, right? Because I like having women around. We're awesome. It'd be kind of nice to have more of them around, more of us around. But then you start looking at, you know, sexism. And I've been seeing a lot of nasty, frankly, hate speech on the internet about, you know, guys are the problem, and, you know, we need to do the red cards, and we're afraid to speak up. We're going to touch on that. It's not really the guys are the problem. It's the population problem, right? So if you look at this, there are 50 head count here. We're going the traditional boy-girl, at least in this generation. 20% of the people are sexist, and sorry, this one I'm reading from my notes for. That's a 50-person population, so 20% are female, so 10 of those dots are female dots. 20% of people make inappropriate remarks or other sexist moves towards people of the opposite gender. 20% of men make sexist remarks to women, and 20% of women make sexist remarks to men. Okay, we are not perfect. We are not angels. I'm not trying to say that we are immune from doing this behavior. But the difference is, because of the population density, come back, thank you. Because of the population density, the percentages are different in terms of what you experience. So for the most unlucky man in that pool, he gets 0 remarks. The most unlucky man in that pool gets 3, and the luckiest gets 0. Where the luckiest woman out of that population, I think she gets 3, and then the unluckiest gets 10. This is available on the internet. You know, unfortunately, that's not displaying properly. But it's not a problem related to men are more sexist or women are more sexist. It's a problem related to ratio, because when you bring us together and you've got half and half, all of that behavior stops because it's suddenly not acceptable anymore in the population. And so, you know, that's all nice. Okay, why do we need to fix it? Okay, it's nice. You know, we like that. Why do we really need to fix it? Well, because if we don't take a step as a community to solve this problem ourselves, we're going to start seeing, and we're already seeing, other approaches to solving the problem that are really not so great. And this is an example of the ADA Initiative's medium public version conference code of conduct. And so I'm looking at this because, I mean, swear to God, I would fail an HR test. If you provide any harassment or perceived harassment related to gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, physical appearance, okay, the wrong comment about someone's nose, body size, race, religion, it's so easy to go wrong here. And what'll happen is conferences where this is in place, they'll have little cards they give out where you flag, and if you do the wrong thing, you can get booted from the con for life. I was flirting with someone and I was asking, so why don't you date women in this community? Because you're kind of cute. And he was like, I don't, because I can get blackballed if I say the wrong thing. And so what you end up with is a culture or a community where men are afraid of us just because, you know, we might say the wrong thing to us and they may get kicked out or blackballed, or, you know, and that's not cool. I don't like that. So it's not great. And then you have the other side of it, which is then there was, I don't know how many of you were at B-Side San Francisco. I was not. This is secondhand. I've read some blogs. I've talked to people who were there. Violet Blue was going to do a talk on drugs and sex, which I think a lot of us might possibly enjoy hearing. I like sex. No comment on the other. And her talk got pulled because the ADA Initiative, Valerie Aurora, said that it might be offensive to a woman because it might have been talking about rape. And I'm sorry, as someone who's been through that, you don't get to curry your environment. If you're not comfortable, leave the room. But this one person stopped the conversation because someone was uncomfortable. That would have been perfectly fine and had been accepted in the organization, been accepted by the conference. And it was like this tiny little bit, she was talking about GHB. But one person could control the dialogue with that sort of policy. It's kind of the complete antithesis of the hacker methodology and the hacker mindset, letting one person or a small organization control the dialogue. And I'm not saying we should be allowed to harass each other or that it's inappropriate to harass each other over anything, but we're a boisterous bunch. And we make ribbing and jokes at each other all the time. And if you have that level of policy in this environment, you're going to have some problems. And I cannot handle it. I just cannot deal with that. And so women cringing, okay, there's obviously a problem. Let's go ahead and do something about it. That was my deal. I didn't know the guy's side of the perspective until there was some experience that it would actually be difficult for men, that this was a problem for men as well as for women. I just knew that, this was something to explore. It just became kind of interesting. And so I got together with a group of people, and we went ahead and created an organization called the Women's Tech Collective. And we are a group of hackers united to change the gender balance in tech, therefore solving the sexism issue and changing the world. Okay, that is like my hobby / life, and this is what I'm going to be doing. Okay, and so there are 5 pillars to the organization. One is peering. So when you see this social stuff we've been doing, oh, okay, it's cool, that's awesome, they're getting together and they're doing lunch. It's actually more than that. What we're doing is we're forming peer groups, okay? We're putting you in groups of peers who push you, because your peers are who you are. So you surround yourself with people who are better than you, and you become better. And that's the purpose. It's not just, okay, we want to network. I feel like networking is, ooh, I'm going to talk to you because I want something from you. I don't like that word so much. I like to put women together and give them a space where it's not, I'm competing with you for resources, so it's her or me, this concept of horizontal hostility. I don't like to see that. And so it's basically creating a safe space for women to be friends without feeling like they need to stab each other in the back. Seminars, we've got some stuff coming up. We're going to be doing Contracting 101. Actually, we'll skip to that slide. Resources, so making resources available to women, but also, because of the way the problem is structured, making resources available to the community as well. Unschool, which is my favorite part of the project because I kind of totally crack out in teaching. And Do It Together, which is really projects. And so the vision, gender balance. Everyone's happy. When we get there, I'll quit my job / this project and go find a new project. These are the 3 things that tend to keep women out of tech. In terms of women staying in tech, we do have a problem with women leaving tech because it gets a little overwhelming. Like, this is a pretty intense environment for some people. This is my home, I'm down, you're my family, but not everyone would be able to swing here. And it's weird to conceptualize this as a community because it's just like, where's the problem? And it was hard for me to conceptualize this as a member of this community when I first ran into this problem, but then I met some people who couldn't. And so it became real to me. So I just want to go ahead and assure you that it is hard for some people, some women, and this is something that's totally solvable. And it's not that our community is doing anything wrong, but they need a little bit more support. So right now, there's a gentleman named Moose. I'm not sure what name he wanted on here, so we're just going to go ahead and call him Moose. Our Miss Stacy Banks, and a dear friend of mine named Trish are the board of directors. We are looking for more people on the board. Moose, it was very important for me to have a man on the board, and it's also very important to me, Trish is transgender, to have that on the board immediately, because I understand that this is a this is not just women, it's a community issue. And so we are looking for more members of the board of directors. We would like to, have more women. Minority women would be great because we definitely want to make sure that is represented. But we're definitely looking to talk to people. One of the things that we got from starting this project was that definitions were a problem. Like, he's not here, I don't want to make that crack. It was really interesting, the feedback on Twitter when I said we were doing a women's thing. What constitutes a woman? Okay, we guess we have to define it. If you identify as a woman, you're a woman. We're not asking, we're not questioning. You show up at a women's event, I'm going to go ahead and assume you're a woman. So give me the courtesy of, if you show up at a women's event, thinking in your head you're a woman, and I'm good. I'm not asking any questions. That's just not cool. Mixed gender, any gender, or none. Hi.
There will be security at the event.
Yes, we'll bounce your ass out. But at the same time, it wouldn't be because of your gender. It would be because you're an asshole. And assholes come in any gender. Yes, yes, okay? So we know it's not a binary concept. I understand that people come in asexual or no gendered or gender fucked or gender queer. We're down, okay? So we had to pick definitions that roughly worked, and this is what we've got right now, okay? And so the other thing is, you're shutting us out. Seriously, women, what are you doing? This came out of, I was going to work in a CEH class. I'm not, because the content is so uninspiring. I got into it and I was like, I wouldn't teach this. There's better things to teach. You will see me teaching better things. And so the need is on both sides, right? Women and on men. And also the need is to bring us in contact with each other. Because one of the things I've noticed about men is a lot of men in this community haven't had the opportunity to socialize with a lot of women. There's just not a lot of us around. And so you guys need safe options to engage with us. You, go back. Right. I love that thing. You guys need safe options to engage with us, and we need safe options to engage with you, because we need to know that we're all cool together. So we're going ahead, and for co-ed events, holiday parties, like the Christmas party at my house, amusingly enough, is co-ed. I do ask that you bring, you come as a +1 if you're a guy, bring your wife, bring your girlfriend, just because I would kind of like to have women there and not outnumbered by guys. But it's cool. Come, bring your families. I want to see you. I want to meet your wife. I'm sure she's awesome if you have a wife. I love, meeting other women. And this is just one party. We're going to have more. And as we go, we're going to look at how it works best to integrate the communities in terms of what works best in terms of ratio or inviting people. So don't feel like we're not listening. Give us feedback. And classes, everything we teach is going to be taught women only, okay? At least once. That said, okay, the same information women need is the same information men need. All right, it's the same career tracks. It's just that some women need a little bit more of a supportive, collaborative environment, and I'm not saying they're not supportive, but if you look at, sometimes men teachers or male teachers can be like, okay, fine, I'll go do that for you. And it's happened multiple times to me. Or you're not so good at math, or I'll take care of that because I know you're not so good at that. And I'm going to, next time I teach this, have more stats and figures on that. But having those environments really does help a certain population of women. And honestly, some certain populations of women don't want to be in single gender environments. They want to be mixed gender. So it's important to do both, and we're more than happy if you give us space to teach both. If we can, obviously, given constraints if a teacher's not available. Most of our socials are going to be women only because that's to create the women peer groups, but at the same time, the goal is reintegration. The goal is not to create, I'm going to go over here and be in my little walled garden. Awesome. I talked about that. And so peering, this is our first pillar. This is the stuff you've been seeing from us so far. We're going to the range because Stacey Banks is awesome. We are going to do, I think, at least one mixer at SHMU. I think we're doing a happy hour. I'm not sure how we're doing that yet. We're definitely going to do a brunch on Sunday. You're going to see this on a regular basis. I'm kind of hoping to do one at least every other week. Community service projects and school outreach. Like, I personally would love to get women going to Bite Back. I think that'd be really cool. It's an organization in DC. It's for people who don't have as many advantages. To get more women teaching tech there, I think that'd be super cool. I want to do that. But basically, getting us out there as women's peer groups, but also into mixed gender spaces so that guys have a chance to meet us too, and there's not that fear that comes with all these code of conduct policies where you're afraid to even talk to us because you might get a red card. Seminars, we need the corporate communications one. I know a lot of men need that too. It's hard to talk in corporate America without putting your foot in it. I'm good at that. Humor in tough situations. As a woman, I actually am very prone to shutting up instead of responding when someone makes a comment to me, because I'm not that good at using humor to diffuse the situation or let you know that that ain't cool. So I need that class. A lot of women need that class. I think a lot of guys need that class. I'm looking forward to that class. Miss Stacy's going to teach Consulting 101. We're hoping to do a panel on Gov to Corporate. It's important. Financial literacy. We have a lot of cool stuff going on. Not everything's scheduled yet, but this is our roadmap. Resources. This is the third pillar. So we're just starting looking at this as conceptualizing it. We have to roll it out in stages. But we're starting to, look for opportunities in that area. If you have something in your head that would be a good contributing thing to that, talk to us. We would definitely like to work with it, or you. And school. I kind of hate college. I know I probably shouldn't say that, but I've met enough people with $50,000 of student loan debt, and I'm over it. Women need, Greg did an awesome blog post, and he did it on what do you need to succeed. You need friends, you need theoretical information, you need hands-on knowledge. There was something else, and I'm forgetting. Hi, I'm sorry? Yes, I know, right? I definitely need more of that. Ginkgo biloba. So you need theory. So we were looking at doing Coursera and Udacity and Khan Academy together, because one thing I see with that is people don't finish because they don't have people around them to do it with them. There's no push. So that's an option. I want to do internal courseware. Owen Redwood does this awesome pen test class. I'm kind of itching to teach it. And then we're going to do specialty focus areas into different technical areas, because this is not a women in security project. This is a women in tech project. And we need to have other technical focus areas than just security. Plus, frankly, no one's good at security if they don't know tech. And I'm kind of like, I don't want people in tech security who aren't good. Or at least I don't want to create that. I'd rather foster an environment that allows women to be successful and men to be successful as well. This is a great opportunity for community involvement. We want to bring women into the larger community and doing things with the larger community. So open source projects. It'd be super cool to get more women working on that, right? Nods, cool. I'm actually, this is one of the things that we are moving forward on, is the IDS group. And right now, it looks like I'm going to host it out of my house. If you've got space for me, give me a talk, because I would really like to get an IDS analysis group going, like maybe twice a month. I miss it a lot. I would like to see internships and apprenticeships, and as things go on, hopefully we can work with employers or organizations, because it's hard to get job experience in this very competitive environment. And I don't know what people who aren't hackers do for fun, so I wasn't sure what to put there, because I just like playing with lockpicks. But I'm sure there's other technical fun, and we can do that. And so, right? So when you're doing a pitch like this, there's always an ask. And so it's a super awesome project, and I firmly believe in it to the bottom of my soul, because it needs to happen, or we're going to end up boxed into a corner. And I'd rather have that happen on our terms, fix it on our terms, than in terms that aren't ours. It's already, the code of conduct stuff already owns most of the developer cons. It's coming to security. We can do better than this. And so the biggest need we have right now is space, frankly. My living room is awesome, but we need more space, and we need space closer to the Beltway. We're not a 501c3 yet. We are starting the process, so I'm not asking you for money. At some point, though, we'll need money. If you feel so inclined, it costs to contribute. Content costs, okay? At some point, I'm waiting for that first, though. We need teachers and mentors, women teachers and mentors, but also groups that are willing to create a welcoming environment for women. And I don't think in this room we have any problem with that. But if your group is willing to create that environment, or you already are, and you just kind of want to get the word out about it, let us know so that we can start partnering with you to send women your way. Because one of the things that works is, okay, cool, you're awesome. Hey, have you heard of NoVA Labs? They're freaking awesome. You should go hang out with NoVA Labs. Hey, I'm going over there, right? Or hey, Unallocated is awesome. Or hey, HackDC is awesome. Or hey, OWASP is awesome. But there's more to this world than security, even though I live in a little tiny bubble. And so we kind of need to know about other organizations that would be, interested in that. And resources. We'll get 501c3 soon. If you feel like you want to give money to a company that isn't a company yet, let me know, but I'll let you know when we get there. And your feedback, because this project came out of a lot of feedback. I was really, really surprised by how hot button this issue was. And I kind of took it, and I worked with the board, and I talked to a whole bunch of people. I talked to Conrad, DataBeast. I talked to Virus. I talked to a whole lot of people. If you could stand still for 5 seconds anywhere near me, I've talked to you about this over the last few months. And so we still need feedback. We value feedback because it's a community project. Yes, thank you. And that's it.
This has been a presentation of NoVA Hackers, brought to you by Compute Cycle, a Cranial Thunder production.